I know I'm not addicted to it.
You waste my coin, Sam, all you can do. The rights to things you have no right to do.
Hi, this is Bill in Maine, and we're here with Don with Maine Vocals, here to get some background information about how the medical movement in New England is going at the present time, especially here in Maine. Don?
Well, we have some movement going on. It's a war zone, has been for quite some time, and right now we're right in the middle of trying to put together a distribution plan for medical marijuana in the state. We have been fighting for actually total legalization for quite some time, but the bigger issue at this point is medical marijuana, and we're focusing on that, and we're trying to put together some type of a distribution plan for the state and for the people of the state of Maine. As you know, we have passed a medical law in 1998, and at this point it doesn't seem to be a workable law. It doesn't seem to be anybody getting any product, and nobody's benefiting from the law that the people pass. So what we're trying to do is put together some kind of a plan where the people can help other people, and that being in a caregiver type status, that people can form co-ops or help individual people and try to get some product to those people. We're advertising a little bit. We put some brochures or flyers in some hospitals and some medical clinics, but it's just really getting underway.
What I thought was really sad was the fact that you had the legislature came along, and I guess they increased how much you could have. They doubled it after the 98 initiative was passed without any consultation, but they still didn't set it up where we had any type of distribution system. They seem to ignore patients who have pain issues.
Right.
And because I'm a medical patient with a pain issue, and the problem is if you come along and you say, well, gee, I have this problem, I have to say I have muscular spasms, which you would have a lot of times with pain
goes right
issues.
along with it, right?
But the problem is, when you ignore pain, it's like that's one of the biggest issues out there right now for a lot of patients is chronic pain. You hear about every day from people in a medical situation, and they're ignoring the therapeutic benefits of cannabis in that regard, which I think is really unbelievable.
Well, the fact of the matter is that the National Institute of Medicine come back with a report a couple of years ago and heralded chronic pain as the #1 use for marijuana, although it's not accepted, I guess, in the state of Maine, because it wasn't written into the law. I don't believe that they can actually stop a person if the person has an issue with chronic pain and wants to take it to the courts. I don't think they can discriminate and have only 5 illnesses on this plan by legal means of the Constitution. Now, they have made a statutory law, of course, which says that those 5 things are the only things that you could use it for, but that's discrimination. The legislators themselves are not cooperating, and they don't care about the facts. They just care about their reputations or what have you, and they don't have any guts to stand up for what's really going on here, and to help the people for this medical marijuana thing, is an issue that they should have done right after the people of Maine passed the law.
Yep.
They should have said, hey, there's no real way to get any marijuana for these people, and they should have done something with it. But at this time, they're saying that the federal government is in charge, actually. And even though we make a law that says we're going to have a distribution system, the federal government would preside over that and shut us down or something. But this is Maine. We have our own laws, and should we decide to have a distribution system like we have decided to have a marijuana law, then the feds have got nothing to say about it.
Well,
And especially since this was brought on by a citizens' initiative instead of through the legislators. The people have voted on this, and they've said what they wanted, yet nothing's really happening except, you got a golden calf staring you in the face that you should be able to utilize and can't.
Well, that's the saddest thing about medical marijuana. You look at most states that have enacted it. Very few states have come along and set reasonable plant restrictions. One of the problems I had with the initiative that was finally passed in Maine was you had an initiative out there. Another group came in that was funded, and unfortunately, what they do when they came to a lot of states is they come in, they have a lot of money, they have a very good organization for getting numbers out. But the downside of it was they come along and they say, "Oh, how about 3 plants?" And that was some ridiculously low thing that almost no one's going to say no to. But the problem is, as a medical patient, you'll sit here and look and go, 3 plants? Now, unless I get one 20 feet tall, 4 feet wide, or unless I can go down to the corner store and buy a set of clones every month so I can keep my perpetual harvest going, there's almost no way to have enough stock.
The whole law that was passed as a workable plan was actually not a workable plan. It was just a law that said that the people of Maine voted for medical marijuana. That's all it did. It didn't put in place anything that was really going to work, because if you have even if you have one plant, it says you can grow 1 plant, you can't harvest it because it says you can only have 2.5 ounces of marijuana. So if you have a plant that grows half a pound of marijuana, what are you going to do with the rest of it? So and nobody's going to throw that away, or